Well, this camera can't do it justice because looking inside there, it's still bright, shiny copper, just the way it should look. Installed this back in 2013, and this one is leaking. And yes, I am a torque wrench freak. Back when I'd use these fittings, I would use a torque wrench. I own Snap-on torque wrenches, Max torque wrenches. I had the Japanese version of the torque wrench with the little horseshoe fittings for doing this, and but this one ended up leaking, and that's why I removed these. I haven't been using it from about back at this time. I just started switching over to cutting these out and no longer using fittings, because no matter how perfect you do them, you cannot stop metal from expanding and contracting, and you have a mechanical fastening joint that is constantly going to be mechanically expanded and contracted, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of cycles. Mechanical things don't last forever. That's why silver brazing always usually lasts forever. The piping that my grandfather put back in is still in service today. The piping my father put in is still in service today, everywhere it's been silver brazed. My piping from my very first piping I put back more than 30 years ago is still in service today. These things leak, and that's why they always get cut out now. And when I come back to the older jobs that I've done where I have used them, I just cut them out. That's it, not to be used anymore. There's nothing like silver brazing. If somebody can't silver braze, learn. And if you get hired for a company and they don't send you for training and you can't master the skill, your boss is supposed to train you and educate you on proper silver brazing procedures. If your boss can't silver braze, but yet he's going to yell at you for having leaks and stuff like that because he hired you knowing you didn't have the skill yet, and you're going to just learn it on the job site, but you just can't get it right, he's responsible for teaching you. If the boss can't do the work himself, he needs to get the frick out of the business then. The boss is always responsible for the quality of work that his employees do. And if an employee cannot perform a procedure and he doesn't hire anyone who has the skill set to learn it or has the tools and equipment to do it and stuff, the boss is responsible for training you how to do it right. If he cannot do it himself, he himself should not be in the business, or he should shut his freaking mouth up and not complain about his employees not being able to properly silver braze and say it can't be done, it's too difficult. Your boss is the problem why the company doesn't have work. Your company shouldn't have to advertise. It should have more work than they can ever do. If they're always hunting and begging and handing out flyers, and they've been in business for 10, 15, 20 years and they still can't get work, and they're still bitching about employees because they can't train them themselves, you as an employee need to go fire that boss and go look for somewhere else to work. All right, I'll get back to this one. This is going to get sectioned out with a little piece of pipe. See ya.